Do not be a beg or degrade yourself by begging people to stay in your life. Do not be an individual that constantly has their emotions controlled by what happens on a daily basis. Do not be one of those individuals where you need good news in order to be happy. We all fall to this, and what happens is we just end up a little puppet on a string, stressing whether a good bit of news is going to change our life, whether something is going to happen in order to be able to make us feel happy. It is a needy version of you that you need to be able to get rid of, okay? I made a note here of stop being so needy like a little bitch. Because as men, as women, as humans, we constantly need things in order to be able to make us feel good. Social media, food, drink, validation, whatever it might be. And we just end up living in this spiral of waffle. It is all simply meaningless. You're begging people to stay in a life that you are not going to be here forever. You are begging people to appreciate you. You're begging people to love you. You're begging people to like you as a human being when you don't even like yourself. It makes no sense. It's not until you can put yourself into pure isolation where you can sit there and really work out who you are and what you need from this world. Until you do this, you're forever living a life where your emotions are dictated by other people. You need to start giving power to yourself instead of giving power to other people. The moment you can fully detach from this world is the moment that you can start living. Not constantly phone watching, not constantly needing sales in your business, not constantly needing yourself to have something in order to be able to feel better is the most beautiful experience you could possibly have. Ask yourself, what type of human being do you want to be? I didn't want to be someone that constantly put off tasks anymore. I didn't want to be someone that constantly needed perfectionism in order to be able to get the out to perfect. I didn't want to be the type of person where I was so caught up in perfectionism that I never actually executed anything. There was this one time where I spent 2 weeks working on a VSL, and it was just a form of procrastination. And then one morning I wake up and I'm watching a video to do with Stoicism, and Marcus Aurelius talks about what type of person do you want to be, and be the person that does something as soon as they say that they are going to do it. And I've done it. I just got up and just took care of something within 20 minutes that was taking me 2 weeks to be able to plan and execute. And it wasn't until I realized that that's actually a form of self-sabotage. That's actually a form of, that was my old self. That isn't my programming and my wiring anymore. That was just someone prior to my life where I started to plan more rather than actually do more. And it was just keeping me safe, and it was just keeping me away from that success that's on the other side of doing that task. Because then we tend to carry guilt and shame, and then that's why we need so much from the world, because we're not giving ourselves enough that we need. And we get caught in that loop, and we get caught in that trap. Do not disrespect yourself by comparing yourself to other people. Do you know how disrespectful it is to the version of you that was once a kid, that screamed, shouted, demanded so much from the world, that they believed that they could do anything they wanted, whether it be a policeman, whether it be a fireman, whether it be a footballer, whatever it might have been when you was a kid. You just wanted to do what you wanted to do. But then all of a sudden, you start comparing yourself to other people living a certain life. It doesn't make, what a disrespect to that child, that younger version of you that just wanted to take on the world. Stop giving power away. Stop allowing other people control of your emotions. My friend said this beautiful quote, Fabian. He said, do you know how easy we hand over our keys to our nervous system? The moment a new relationship comes in, you hand over the keys to your nervous system. You're panicking, you're worrying, am I good enough? Am I good enough? Is this person going to stay in my life? Am I Am I going to be able to be the individual that I need to be? Pathetic. You doubt yourself in business when there's other people out there doing 100 times better than you, but you know deep down in your core you have more potential. That was something that wound me up the most. I saw other people doing very, very well, and fair play to them, but I was like, I have so much more potential than that. Why am I holding myself back so much? And how we see situations determines our mood. So I'm doing this video now and you might be kicking yourself and being like, yes, this is me. Oh my God, I'm so annoyed at myself. Change your perception. What if you had to learn them lessons and compare yourself so much and realise that you was doing it in order to then have a lifetime of never comparing yourself again or pulling yourself back into the present moment of who you are as an individual? What if you had to have your life pulled from pillar to post and bad relationships and breakups and bad business decisions and terrible losses to then have all of the wisdom and the information you need in order to be able to be successful over the next however many years, 40, 50, 60 years, depending on your age? The only thing that is bad is what we determine as bad. I do not believe there's any bad in this world. Regardless, if someone loses their life, I don't see it as bad. I see it as their soul has achieved everything they needed to achieve in this world. Bang. You go from... And it's not even like toxic positivity. It's just my outlook that I've chosen to have on life. My nan passed away and I let that control me for so long. But then my granddad passed away and actually celebrated his life. You know? So always remember... you first, you first, you first. And a byproduct of that will be authentic people around you that match it. Maybe you're going through a stage in life where everything feels like it's falling apart. You're losing people. You don't know what is going on. But it's because you're making a shift into becoming who you are. That is why everything seems to fall away. And that is why I'm doing this video now, because I want you to put power into you rather than power into everyone else. Speak life into you. People please you, have conviction in you, have belief in you, have certainty in you. Go and source new information. Go and look at different behavioral science. Go and look at psychology. Go and look into the neuroscience. Go and study the Bible. The Bible has everything that I have just mentioned. Go and find truth. Stop relying on the external world to bring you a feeling. Go and get that feeling yourself. Be able to be at a sense of peace and truth within yourself, and you will need nothing from the world. I sit in silence 5-6 times a day. Whenever I feel myself sort of swaying away and going into a little bit of a bad mood or a little bit irritated, I just go and sit in silence. Bring myself into peace. And it's been the biggest game changer, because I can be at peace whether something's happening or whether something isn't happening. My mood stays the same. And it was a huge wake-up call when I realised that my days were dictated on good news. I had to get good news. I had to sign a new huge client. I had to get booked for a speaking gig. I had to make money in my old life. I lived a crazy life living in Ibiza. And I had to have good news in order for me to be able to feel good. And I'd wake up on edge. I'd wake up anxious. My sleep was terrible. And now I actually wake up from the deepest, most relaxing sleep. It's because I'm going to bed not needing anything, and I'm waking up and I'm not needing anything. There is an emotional detachment to my world now after being in survival for so long. And I truly believe that is when true happiness is there. I had a client the other day. He was 4.5 grand in debt last year when we started working to get 4.5 grand a month income and a 40 grand debt, going through a breakup, going through a terrible part of life, but it was actually the making of him. He'd moved back to his mum's, then he had friends passing away, and he was just going through a really terrible period. And he was looking for external events to make him feel better. But this is where we broke it down. This is where we took him from being in that negative headspace to now I think he's done 80 grand in the last 4 weeks in his business. And it was all because of we changed who he was as a human being. One thing that I'm so proud of when it comes to watching these men sit opposite me, maybe they've got millions in the bank, maybe they've already got very, very high level of success, I watch them from start to finish develop, evolve as human beings. And one thing that no longer controls them is the stress of finances. One thing that no longer controls them is having to need a woman there, having to need validation. They just become internally so happy. And I'm actually a coach that can sit here and proudly say that. Last week, 2 people reached out and was like, how is your channel not bigger? And it's because I'm actually living the life that I teach. It's because I'm actually coaching people, and my focus goes into helping people rather than the marketing. Because I've got to a stage where that did mean something to me at the start, but then I detached myself from it because I knew how much it was controlling people. And I've had the privilege of working with people with 500 million views on their podcast and Instagram influencers and everything you could possibly imagine. And I just wanted to give you this message now that please don't allow the external world to control you. Don't allow other people to dictate your emotions. Because what I find weird is we want unconditional love, unconditional finances from the world, unconditional self-worth, unconditional respect, unconditional appreciation. So why do we wake up and have conditions that need to be met in order to be able to receive? Why do you need to post a bit of content in order to receive validation? Give the validation yourself. Why do you need someone to love you when you can just wake up and realize it's your birthright to feel that love and abundance towards yourself? Take that in. Don't be a puppet on a string where your emotions are being pulled because of what happens in this world that we see in front of us. Just wake up and realize that you're deserving of having it. Maybe you're not where you want to be in life. Do not disrespect yourself by comparing yourself to someone else. Look at the journey that you've been on. Without the journey that you've been on, you wouldn't have the wisdom that you have right now. You wouldn't have the life that you have now. You wouldn't have impacted the people that you've impacted right now. All right? The only reason we deserve suffering is if we choose not to change. Then we are actually choosing the suffering we go through. And the moment you choose to have external events control you, means that every single day is going to be suffering, because your mood is going to be dictated on whether other people make you happy. You're putting source outside of you rather than putting it into God. Kingdom of heaven is within you. All right? Sending you love, sending you light. Have an amazing day. Big love. Melly, your movement, baby.